in this time. So in this chapter, in Second Esdras, the 4th chapter, he's asking, when are we going to get that reward? In verse 36, the angel Uriel tells him what? Okay, even when the number of seeds is filled in you. See, that final seed where the prophets would have to come onto the earth, be rejected, have to go out to the highways and the byways, prophesy, in sackcloth, when our curse would be fulfilled, man. And this is the final generation. We believe that we will have to go out and do these things. Now comes the reward. For you have weighed the world in the balance. So there's particular things that must happen. By measure he have measured the times, and by number he have numbered the times, and he doth not stir nor move them until the said measure be fulfilled. All right, so there's a process that would have to happen in end times, and you can read that in the book of Daniel, the 7th chapter. So just jump to that real quick, and we're not going to get too much of it, but clearly, Daniel, the 7th chapter, you could jump to verse 7. That's the Roman Empire, right? Now, when you jump to verse 8, it says, I considered the horns, and behold, there came up among them another little horn. And that other little horn is fulfilled in Babylon the Great, which is the revival of that Roman Empire and system. All right? Which pretty much came back into life at the time of the Renaissance period. But it really fulfilled being rebirthed into the earth through Babylon the Great, the NATO and the EU. You see? All of those lies and deceit had their time to rule on the earth. And that's what we're going to get in Revelation, the 20th chapter, which ties to the joy of the hypocrite being but for a moment. You see? So this little horn, as you read verse 9, after that little horn, see here, before whom were the 3 of the first roots plucked up by the roots. So the French, the Spanish, the British, and America came out of the British. And behold, in his horn were the eyes in this horn were the eyes of a man, because he parades himself around as the Most High, but he's only a man. Okay? His science, all of these things he's boasting himself in, but you're still a man, meaning you were created. There's a program in you to do these things. But you believe you created the program, and a mouth speaking great things. And we see those great things being spoken into the earth at this very moment through science, through what Biden's doing, everything. They're speaking great things. And who's agreeing with it? Israelites, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are bowing to the image of Baal openly. All right? But the water Yahweh Bashim Yahshua for the remnant. But directly after this rulership, what happens? And I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit, whose garment was white as snow, and his hairs of his head like the pure wool. This is the Most High, the Ancient of Days. See? Yahushua has a beginning. We have a beginning. Okay, but the Most High has no beginning. Now, how do you wrap your mind around that? You can't. Okay? When we come into that heavenly estate, there's going to be particular things that are opened up to us, but in this flesh, you can't fathom that. So the best thing to know is that he is. See, I am that I am is what he said. All right? He is Yahweh. Just leave it at that, because you'll bug yourself out. Hey, the scriptures say you don't even understand the process of how a bone, your sperm, gets inside of the egg, is nourished in rib cage forms. All of these things form, heartbeat. So you ain't going to figure out the Most High. And the people who are, the scientists and all of this, the explanations they give you are only based upon, observation and partial. They're not the full breakdown. Okay, but the scriptures say when we get the kingdom, we're going to know even as we were made. All right? So it talks about after that 4th beast and that little horn rule, which is Babylon the Great, that horn that the chip would come through in Revelation the 13th chapter, that's when judgment comes. You see, so this devil only had that little season. Okay, his joy was but for a moment. You see, from the Renaissance all right, all the way up to Babylon the Great, to the end of it. That was his little season to work his wickedness and do the working and bidding of Satan. But through that, the beast is burned. See? Verse 11, and I beheld then, because of the voice of the great words which the horn spake. All right? I beheld even till the beast was slain and the body destroyed and given to the burning flame. So he's going to be burned because of the voice and the great words. That's why Yahushua said, as a matter of fact, real quick, that's why Yahushua himself said in the book of Luke, the 17th chapter, just hit to the point. Luke 17 and 29. But the same day Lot went out of Sodom, and rained fire and brimstone from heaven and destroyed them all. Even thus shall it be in the day when the Son of Man is revealed. So when Yahushua comes back, he's going to come back to a place that is boasting itself in Sodom-like practices. So this is why, Salakia, this is why it says in Daniel, go back to Daniel, and this is all through the Spirit, man. This is Daniel, the 7th chapter, and 11. And I beheld because of the voice of the great words which the horn spake, Babylon. And I beheld even till the beast was slain and his body destroyed and given to the burning flame. That's Babylon the Great being destroyed, man. You see, and as you read down, you know, let's see here. This is verse 16. And I came near unto one of them that stood by, and asked him the truth of all this, because he's seeing this vision. So he told me and made me know the interpretation of the thing. These great beasts, all right, which are four kings which shall rise out of the earth, all right? And, you know, the Assyrian Babylonian Empire, you know, the Medo-Persian Empire, the Greeks, and then the Romans, you know, which are the four major empires that are going to rule on the earth. Now, as we're going to show you, that Roman Empire fell, all right? But then after that, this devil was given a little season. You know, after that 1,000-year period where it fell, he was given a little season to go out and work wickedness. And that's what we see. That's what we have seen. Okay? But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and shall possess the kingdom forever and even forever and ever. Okay, so the fourth beast is the final empire, but there will be a little horn. Okay, verse, and I'm trying not to read too much, but let me read this. And I beheld, verse 21, and I beheld, and the same horn made war with the saints and prevailed against them. This gives an understanding as to why he was able to come over to this side of the earth and conquer our brothers, you know, and sisters, the so-called, you know, Native Americans. All right. This is why he was able to, you know, trade us, you know, in the transatlantic slave trade, you know, bring us over here as well. So we could all be over here in Babylon the Great, receive our judgment. All right. But then in the last days, the Heavenly Father would put the Spirit on a remnant. All right. So he prevailed against us until the Ancient of Days came and judgment was given to the saints of the Most High. And the time came that the saints possessed the kingdom. So that fourth beast is where the end comes through. See that? Verse 25, and he spake great words against the Most High. And those great words that he's speaking against the Most High are fulfilled here when you get Revelation, the 20th chapter. Okay? This is Revelation, the 20th chapter, and I'll just rush through it. Start at 1. And I saw an angel come down from heaven having the key of the bottomless pit, which is Europe, all right, and a great chain in his hand, all right, and this is Yahushua, and that chain means he can take down a nation. He can set up a nation, and that's in Daniel. He take it down kingdoms and he set them up. So here he puts a great chain on the Edomites, okay, which is when the Roman Empire fell, and for a period of 1,000 years they were a no people. And he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years. Now we know in Thessalonians, we always bring out a particular man would come after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders. So is this speaking of an actual angel putting a chain on the spiritual demon Satan? No, it's speaking of a particular man who comes in the spirit of a serpent. Okay, because the serpent in the garden was one who practiced witchcraft. When you go into the Hebrew word nachash. Okay, and that's what this whole system is based upon. Witchcraft. The devil means the deceiver. Satan